Alright, Alico 3, and today we're going to do a video taking a look at some PSA cards. This was one of the bulk orders that I sent off August, I think, first week of August, but there's some pretty cool stuff in here. The grading, before we get into the order, I'll just say, and I'm not going to whine and complain throughout the whole order, but I will say that the grading on the bulk orders, that the last three I've gotten back is different for sure. It's tighter, stricter. Cards that were 9s before are 8s now, and a lot of the 10s that would round up, mint plus cards are 9s. So that's kind of what you'll see with this order. The quality of cards that I send in is typically the same. I kind of have standards for stuff just from developing a knack for the standards that PSA has used. So the cards I'm sending in are the same, but I think more important than the quality of cards you send in is the people that grade your cards. So just a little preface before we start the video. So we'll start off with the card. This is kind of an interesting one. It's an interesting one because on the back he's singing, but it's a 92 Skybox Shaq. This is an 8, so I mean, just starting right off the bat, this is a card that I probably got in a pack, and it was probably one that I didn't think had any chance at a 10, but I thought it was like a solid 9 candidate. So that's just kind of the way the order shakes out. This is a Starburst. This is the tier below the Artist Proof. So the Artist Proof are tougher, but this is the 96 Pinnacle Starburst in an 8. So, yeah, I mean, there are a fair share of 8s in this order. Cards like this are more prone to get 10s. The papers from 2016. Check your fronts, check your backs, obviously, with every card, but just watch out for little small issues on the back there. Moncadas, I don't think those have much value, to be honest with you. This is a neat one. It's the paper gold to 50, print run of 50 on the back there. Yoan Moncada, who's off to a decent start this year. I think he's hitting like 270. We're pretty early though. So these chromes are ones that this one's, I think that's off top to bottom a little bit, but some of the chrome Moncadas, and I think I paid $7.50 a card on this order. So this was back in the day when the pricing was great. So there's another 9. I think there's 3 9s on these ones. 2016 is definitely tougher than 2017 though. Paper Trout 2016, just a pack pull card. I mean, definitely selling this. Don't really have any. Don't really like that card. Devers chrome paper, or chrome paper, that doesn't make any sense, but paper orange 2015 draft, low value card there. The Lindor no sparkle under glove. I think I had this as a 10 snap, which means if it doesn't get a 10 I snap it. So this could be one that I'll snap and retry, or just try something else with it, because that was a nice copy. So that one got a 9. The Prospect Auto of Devers gets an 8. It's got some rough centering right to left. I think that one's probably accurate. So 8 on Devers. Albie's paper. There's a couple of these. Albie's 2015 Bowman paper, BP 71. That's a highlight cake on that one. The second one got a 9. I think there's a few. Yeah, there's 3 of them. Here's a 9 on the second one. And the third one is a 10, so. Here's a Jordan card. I don't know. I think they forgot to put best performance on there, or this is just a base card. Yeah, this might just be a base card. The back centering's rough on this one. This one got an 8. If you look from the top to bottom, the back is just pretty rough. That's probably why I got an 8, but. Front's nice. This is the green from 2015 Lindor. Out of print of 99. Decent card. So Bowman Chrome rookie green refractor. There are some 10s in here. They're sprinkled in. Like, here's a 10 on Steve Young. These are just cards I got in packs. And if you pull this set straight from the pack, for the most part, you should have a good chance at a 10 card. Because these Fleer 97s, baseball and football, they just don't chip very easily. And if they haven't been handled and sorted and traded throughout the years, you should have some good, clean cards. So, Young. And then Elway gets a 9. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same condition as the Young, but the Elway gets a 9. So, take that for what it is. Fleer Prospects. This is kind of a neat one. Tony Gonzalez. So those 3 were all probably from the same box, but Fleer Prospects, Gonzalez, and a 9. For low-end cards like this, I typically send in because I think the cards have good chances at 10s. And if they don't get 10s, that's fine. 9s are good, as well. So Man Ram 96. This one had good centering for the 96 top scrums, which can often look almost miscut. But this Manny looked good, so I sent it in, and it got a respectable 9. So just the base, not the refractor. But, I'll probably add that into my Manny registry eventually. Hot Commodities. This is a neat little insert. Kind of reminds me of the Flair 97 Hot Gloves with the spikes, but definitely not as valuable as those. But Bonds, mint 9 on this one. This is the 94 Stadium Club finest insert. I think that's what they call it. But Griffey, I don't think I had this one, so I'm going to keep this one in the collection. And then 95 Fleer. I was a little surprised they gave this a 10, but they gave this Bo a 10. Just a pack pulled pup. P cubed. So Bo. Gold. This was probably a ComC buy, and I think it looks like an 8. These corners are white. It just doesn't look that great. I think the pre-grade was 8+, so I was expecting an 8. Frank Thomas, that's the gold signature, so probably sell it, but neat card. These Studio 95s, as long as you look these over, it's a credit card. So as long as it's not scratched, I mean, the corners can't really get dinged. I mean, theoretically they could, but it's not like a typical card because they're rounded. So if you don't have scratches in the past, these have always gotten 10s. So I could just kind of tell the flow of the order when this Frank came back a 9, and then Manny came back a 9 too. So you kind of get a gist for the grader after you look through the first box. Honestly, the first 15, 20 cards, I'll look at them and I'll compare them to my sheet because I pre-grade all this stuff, and I'll just take a look and see how it's going, and you can kind of tell how that whole order is going to go. But and there's times where stuff's grading higher than pre-grades for the most part on a lot of cards, and you kind of tell you got a grader in a better mood. So this is New Age Pinnacle. This is cool. Summit. Pinnacle Summit's kind of an interesting product from 95. So here's the Manny and a 9. Just a low-end cool insert of Manny. Jeter. This was in a pack maybe. Thought I had a chance at an 8.5. It got an 8, which isn't terrible on this card actually, because it's tough to find centered. So Jeter and an 8. This one didn't look perfect when I sent it in. You see that back centering, but this is the 94 finest Manny Refractor and an 8. So nothing too crazy in this order. This was just kind of one I probably prepped this one pretty quick. I was getting orders out quick in the summer, and this is one of the ones that got out. I think it's 150 to 200 cards. Refractor Action. This was a 10 pre-grade. They came back at 9. So yeah. Thick card stock. Corners are all clean. There's no white. Edges are clean. The surface was nice, so that's why I thought it was a 10, but it came back at 9. Refractor Action. Ultra Emmett. So these are kind of the ones that I used to hit when I hit 10s on cards like this. I would sell a lot of them and do the water into wine series. But nowadays, a 9's not even, it's not bad at all on this card. I don't know. This card could probably still get 15 bucks at this point. In the past, this card would be like $5 or $6 before the market changed. Platinum medallion. There's a Manny out of 99 in an 8, which it's not bad for this set. Sabathia, 99 top straighted, pulled from a factory set, right to left's off. Yeah, I thought this was a 9. Sometimes you can tilt it upside down and look at it, and even do the top to bottom this way. Just little tricks. But yeah, that's definitely off centered. But the rest of the card was clean, so I thought it could be a 9. Looked like a 9. Manny, this is the Refractor to 400 from 99. That's a sick card. Cool shine too. So 99 Bowman's Best, and this next one's neat as well. The 99 Finest. I always peeled the Refractor off because aesthetically the card looks so much better without that film on it. So I don't even own a card that has the film on it in my collection. I either peel it or just sell it with the film. So 99 Topps Finest Bonds Refractor in a 9. That's a neat one. Edge Aspirations 8.5. This is printed in 95. That's an awesome card. The red background, it just meshes well with the orange Miami jersey. I don't know, that card just pops. So 8.5 on Edge. CE first place. This is a brand that I didn't really ever collect or get into, which is called Collector's Edge, but they did print a lot of stuff in the 90s. So this was an on-card autograph of Edge. I probably bought it raw for like 15 bucks, and it looked pretty good, so it got a 9. It's that card you're like, to spend the fees to get graded. I mean, you would think it's a strong 10. Right to left's on point, top to bottom is on point. Corners, edges clean, straight from the pack. Just a fantastic card. So, I mean, it's a card where you just think it's a 10 when you send it in. Fleer, same deal, pack pulled. Fleer 99's tough for some reason, but there's a Favre, another 9 on that one. Here's Culpepper. Sometimes straight from the pack you'll have like a white there and a white there on those edges, corners, and that's just straight from the pack. The back, the way it's made, it can't chip, it can just dent. It's just white, you know. It's kind of like National Treasures. So, Fleer, Dante Culpepper, another card I thought was a 10. Same with Marino. So, just, you know, when stuff is rounding down, then there's no Mint Plus. So it makes for an order that's a little tougher. But this is cool. This is the Triple Diamond to 1000. See that top left corner? I mean, that's enough for me to not give the card a 9 and put it in the 8 to 8.5 range. Just that white corner right there. It just it takes away from the card a lot. So that's 1000. Stadium Club Moss. This one's a 9. Superimposed image. Not really his most highly sought after, but I think it's a respectable little card. Wearing the 88, and that just almost looks like it's drawn by an artist. His face looks like a cartoon almost on that one. I've always thought that card was interesting. Topps Finest is like that too with the moss. So here's a Jordan 97 Fleer Flare. Hardwood Leaders. I don't think this card has too much of a market, even though a lot of his inserts do. I don't think this one does, but I'll have to look it up. Orlando Pace, Fleer Prospects, same insert set as the Tony Gonzalez we saw about 10 minutes ago. So Orlando Pace, just a pack pulled. You know, you think it's a 10, and if it did get a 10, it'd be a low pop card, and sometimes there's a nice market for those. Bowman's Best Jordan. This one got an 8, so not doing well at all in the Jordans. Here's a Rollins Bowman Chrome 98 rookie in a 9. Kobe Bowman's Best 98 base in a 9. And then we got a Vince Carter coming up. So Vince Carter, this is the Topps Chrome. I was impressed with this one coming back at 9. I think I had it as an 8.5, so it actually graded out higher than the pre-grade. Right to left's not good enough for a 10 for sure. Top to bottom's a little off too. Vince Carter, and then we got the flagship in a 9. This is 97 Pinnacle. This is the artist proof right now. It's a museum collection. 97 Pinnacle Bonds Museum in an 8. I think there's another 8 here. Hitting machines. This one's kind of tough because it's like the whole card's like a die cut, and if these little things get pushed in or messed up at all, it really detracts from the condition. But it's a cool insert from 97 Ultra, and it's Manny, so I sent it in. Wave of the Future Vlad. This will be a third-year Vlad card. Of course, David Ortiz is in this set as well, and that's a pretty big card in a 9 or 10, but Vlad in a 9. Probably just keep this one in the collection. It's pretty cool. That wave harkens back to the start of the Wave of the Future, 93. This is the cut above. This is a really tough insert. These are huge market for these. Not for Manny, but for, like, I think there's a Griffey and there might be a Jeter. I don't think there's a Jeter actually, but there's probably a Bonds or something. But cut above Manny. Thought it was like an 8.5. It got an 8, so that's fine. Beltray 97 Best in a 9. The case has a little scuff mark right there, but a 9. This is the Ultra Home Run Kings. It's kind of like an acetate finish, as in you can see through the card. Really cool inserts in 97 Ultra. They did a good job with that set, and the market's very strong on those cards. So Barry Bonds, Home Run King, 97. Rocket launchers, a little off-centered. Just a little white. This one could easily be a 9, though. But it got an 8, so. Half grades, they don't really happen much. 97 SPX Silver. Griffey. That's a neat one. I don't think I have it either, so it's cool to add these cards to the collection when you pick them up. That was probably on eBay or something. '89 Donruss Schmidt. Just pack pulled. Dead centered. It's got that little scuff right there. That definitely wasn't there when I sent it. Because for a card like this, I actually wouldn't send it with that. Because that would mean your best case is a 9. So that would get pulled. Dion. But, I understand small mistakes happen when you're handling this many cards. And PSA's busy, so I don't ever expect them to perfectly handle the cards, which I know a lot of people do. But if you've ever handled cards all day, small mistakes kind of happen every now and then. Not often, but in my case they have, because we are humans. Fleer Glossy, ad blacked out. That ad right there is black. This is a 9. This was probably pulled from a factory set. And then the same deal here. Right to left's off. Doesn't deserve a 10 at all. But the rest of the card looked pretty good. These sit in those cellophane wrappers, and the corners are almost pushed in a little bit. Like if you've ever broken these sets, like the 87 Donruss rookies too, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But I don't think they take away from the grading much. Aikman traded this card in March. I think March and February, this card was pretty big, probably close to $100 for an Aikman traded 9. I bet it's down to about $40 now, but I'll have to check it. So 2 of the Aikmans, these were just from factory sets. A lot of pack pulled cards in this order. Dion Pro set. Centering's pretty easy to tell on these Pro sets. This one got a 10. Traded Dion 9. I know I saw this card go for over 100, which I think is pretty remarkable. in the past. It's probably peaked down to about 60 now. Derek Thomas gets a 9. Probably a $20 card. Frank Thomas gets a 9 on the name on front version, of course. I don't think I've definitely never owned the no name. I don't really have a desire to pick it up either. Ricky Henderson, 92 Ultra. I mean, these are just incredibly low-end cards that you think have good chances at 10s. And I like Ricky Henderson, so that's probably why I sent it in. Same condition as the Henderson, but this one was a 10, so... And Bowman Delgado. That's off center. Looks like a 9. I mean, some of these are clear as day. You can kind of tell what they should be. 92 Topps Pippen. This was straight pack pulled, low end card, right to left on point, top to bottom's on point. No funny business going on with corners and edges. Sometimes there's little dents that you can't really see good with the naked eye, but just a clean card. This is a card I definitely thought was a 10. It got a 9, so whatever. Continuing on. Flagship 2003, Carmelo Anthony in a PSA 8. Shabby. There's 3 of these, so here's another. Here's a 9 that's more respectable. These are typically off-centered, and condition issues, corners, dings and stuff, but same set as the LeBron, so the 2003 draft pick. This one got a 9. This one's interesting. So all the Carmelos are right in a row, but this is the Bowman Signs of the Future. It had a bunch of chipping. I figured it'd be an 8, and that's what it got. So Signs of the Future, 2003 Bowman. I mean, it's an on-card auto. He's in the Syracuse jersey. I thought it was an interesting card. I think I paid $50 or $60 for it. So I don't think I'll keep it. So somebody will get a nice Carmelo card if they collect Carmelo. Topps Chrome. I don't really like this image. You can't really tell which player they're focusing on. I mean, he's shooting, obviously, but you got 2 defenders taking up most of the portrait. So, Chrome, the Chrome Carmelo in a 9. I think that's around $300 at this point. Bowman Rookies and Stars in an 8. I mean, these grades are just tough. Look at the top to bottom. The right to left's on point. Chipping on the back's clean. There's a little white on the front. I mean, this should be an easy 9. It got an 8, so I don't know. Topps Chrome gets an 8, or Bowman Chrome, excuse me. Yeah, this one's 65-35, and the top to bottom's off too. This one makes sense as an 8. But, I mean, 8 at this point is just so much more than raw, and the grading fee on this was like $7 a card back when I sent it. So, I mean, it still makes sense. You know, I think going forward it won't make sense to grade cards like that you don't think even have like a good chance at a 9. Here's the Focus. This is numbered $4.99. So this, of course, is a big card if it's LeBron. But I think Carmelo, maybe 30 raw and then a 10, maybe 150 on a good day for this card. We'll kind of see. I'm sure the pop's low on that card. I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of that card out there. Fleer. This is another one. You know, my expectation on this was to push for a 9, and if a 10 happened, it got an 8. So, I mean, it just fallen below your expectations. That's the Fleer. Rivers. Bowman. This is a card. I bet this is over $50 raw. I mean, $50 in a 9, and then raw, this is like a $10 card, $10 to $15. So, Rivers, the 2004 Bowman. You've got the Vic. This is just one for the collection. Gold Refractor to 50 from 2004 Topps Finest. Kind of a subtle look on the gold, just the gold going through there and the gold on the Topps Finest. It's not really the strongest gold refractor in terms of the aesthetic appeal to it, where you can actually see the gold. So, Fitzgerald Finest in a 9. This is, tough, rigid card stock. This bottom can chip on the black, but for the most part, these cards are tough. Here's Bowman Chrome in a 9. That's actually a really cool image going up for the catch. Most likely at the rookie premiere, which I don't know if they're gonna do that again. They probably should, to get some photos together instead of doing airbrushing their $1,000 products. Like, I noticed Donruss Optic 2020 football was airbrushed. I was like, that's just shameful. You can't get actual photos when they played an entire season. 208 of 250, because that Optic came out like, what, first week of March or something. So here's the X-Fractor 250 and a 9. It's a neat one. It's got good shine. And then I guess there's two of it to 250. Here's another X-Fractor. I'll probably pop one of these in the store. Some of the stuff will also appear on my slabs. Stuff moves pretty slow over there, but fees are so low that it doesn't hurt to list some of the more expensive items. I don't list the low end stuff, the low end stuff on there, but you know, there's that one. That's the Elite. This is the Refractor in an 8. It's probably scratched, a little off center. Sometimes there's little dimples on these two, so I think that's fair. It's this one, Fleer Greats in an 8. I don't even remember sending this card in. I'll be honest. This was probably a ComC buy for a couple bucks, but that'll fly in auction. I don't know what it'll go for, $10 or $15. Just a guess. Not really a sought after LeBron, a 3rd-year card in an 8. MVP. Okay, MVP gets a 9. I think this was a 10 snap. 10 snaps are cards that I obviously will snap out if they don't get a 10, because I just feel like they deserve a 10. So this one will probably get snapped out. Centering was on point. Corners, edges, all crisp. There's no like light scratching on the front, which happens with these. Top to bottom looks good. It's just, you know, some cards. I always say some cards deserve 10s, some cards deserve 9s, vice versa. You see that chipping there? Looks like it's gonna be an 8. Yeah, that's fair. So that's the AKA Victory, AKA. These don't sell for much at all raw. I bet that's $40 raw, and the same goes for the highlight reel makers. This one's got the same chipping. This is a really, really tough set. And that got an 8. This one looks better than the last one we saw. Exclusives. The rookie exclusives. This one got a 9. So 2 9s on the rookie exclusives. It's a neat card. This is an interesting one. This is the Upper Deck MVP Silver of Dwayne Wade. This one got a 10. So you guys are probably shocked to see a 10, but there are a few in this order. There's a 10 on Wade Silver. This was a 10 snap as well, this one. So got to get the pliers out for this order, but that's the base one. So the base got a 9, or base got a 9. Fleer Tradition, I don't know. This is definitely a water into wine card. You know, it's 50 cents raw. I bet this sells for $40 though. I don't think I'll keep it. Some of the stuff I keep, it just depends on the card. If I like it and I want to have it in the collection, I don't think I'll keep that one. The Upper Deck base Brees and a 9. I think this card's over 150 now, approaching 200. So very respectable card. These were inserted 1 in 4 packs, I believe, so 6 per hobby box. And I want to say 50 cards on the rookie check, 40 to 50. Tops traded. This one, let's just take a look at it. We can evaluate it. I mean, we can get a close look at everything but surface. You just can't really get all aspects of the surface when it's in the slab. So the right to left's almost 50-50. Top to bottom, about 60-40, 55-45. Check for the chipping. That's common with this set. It's a little white right there. Yeah, that's a really good 8. It's the best 8 you'll ever see, but I mean, this could easily be a 9 or an 8.5. They don't really do half grades though. Bowman. This is a tough one. This one got an 8. It's got some white right there. These are typically off-centered. The back looks pretty good for this set, at least. Another nice 8. SPX. This one, yeah, it's got a little bit of white showing. That's the gold one, the 250. What's this, Stadium Club? Stadium Club Breeze gets an 8. I bet the pop on this is really low. I don't think I've ever seen a PSA 10 in this card, or a 9. If you ever buy these raw, it's pretty much impossible. The way the set was made that year, it's tough. College Greats auto, Vic in a 9. That's kind of cool. On card Ultra auto, probably a tough pull too. I wonder what the pack odds are on this puppy, but I would say it's tough to pull one of these. You know, I don't know how many cards are in the set either. I think Brees and Tomlinson have one too. So the College Greats preview, Urlacher Paramount. This is just pathetic. no other way but an 8. You know, it's the card you're looking for a 9 or a 10 on. So 8 on that. So I mean, this order is just, I don't know. This is a neat one though. The Bowman Chrome 21999. It's kind of interesting. I'm surprised they didn't do it out of 2001, but this one looks good. Centering's really good for this card in particular. These are typically off-centered pretty bad, but that's the Bowman Chrome 2001 Refractor of Vic in a 9. Flagship Moss PSA 9. Centering's pretty easy to tell on this card. Just, you know, you can see your top to bottom, then you look where this edge stops and this edge stops, and just look to have enough. So this one's centered really good. Bowman Chrome. There's a 9 on Bowman Chrome. I think they're all 9s on these Bowman Chromes. Double on the 9 and triple 9s. This is a good one. This is the Star Rookie from 98 Upper Deck, Peyton Manning. That's cool. I sound so enthused. That's cool. But I mean, that is a neat card. EX 2001 Peyton. I think 10s of this are like $700. So 9 maybe 200. But we'll have to look into that a little more closely. But that one got a 9. Let's just look at it. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. Score, that one's off center, top to bottom. You can see that right off the bat. So, I don't think it deserves a 10. There's a little white right there, so that's fair. That one's a little off too. This is a tough set though. 98 score is tough. This is on card. Bowman's Best, Fred Taylor, from 98. These were tough pulls. Just a cool image too. So a player who I think will eventually get into Canton when you factor in the lifespan of backs getting shorter and shorter, and players just not able to accumulate the stats when they're only playing 5 years. You're not gonna have enough numbers ever to have Hall of Fame credentials. So Woodson Finest Base 9. Nothing too crazy there. Leaf Rookies and Stars in a 9. This is a cool set. This was also the first year they did the Leaf Rookies and Stars. I'm going to keep this one. This is neat. This is 98 Fleer Zone Bonds. I think these inserts were pretty tough. I know the 97s are pretty coveted, but the 98 Bonds, it's got some crazy shine on it. But Fleer Zone 9, Barry Bonds. A couple of these promising forecasts. I think they're 9s. That's a second year David Ortiz. So promising forecast, PSA 9. 2 of those. And then Jimmy Rollins, Bowman Chrome 98. I feel like I've sent in a few of these lately. This is the Bowman's Best Refractor. Whoops, bumped the camera. But 400, second year Adrian Beltre. Just had good shine. Bought it raw, maybe $20-25. And it looked good, you know. We're flying through. one got a 7. I don't really know why, but it's got a bad auto too. I might just run this in auction and probably go for like $15. But Ricky Williams. This is neat. This is his rookie card. So Herschel Walker, 87 tops. The right to left's off a little bit. I have a little edge wear. Yeah, this is should definitely be a 9. No chance at a 10. Here's the Bonds 86 Donruss, the rookies from the box set. This is a fun set to break. Sometimes there's little snowing, chipping on the edges, though, just from being in that box for 35 years. Donnie Baseball, 89 Kings, so dumpster diving with some 89 Donruss. Just cards you think, pretty good chance at a 10 if they're not shut off. Here's the Boggs. Yeah, this just has it all going on. Pack fresh, no chipping. 9. Puckett Bowman. Nolan Ryan. Get that top to bottoms off just a tad. So is the right to left. So I think that's a good fair grade on that. Baseball's best. This card typically sits in the $75 range in a 9, and then raw $15-20 if you're looking to get one. And then here's Donruss, the rookies. I bet this is under 50 now. $88 tops. This is just a pack pulled card. I thought I had a chance at a 10. Just because it's centered so nicely. Corners and edges are great. Centering is within range. So, I mean, per the website, the criteria, that should be a 10. That one's off-centered. White right there. Yeah, that doesn't look that great. Bonds in an 8. That's an 87 Donruss. That'll go in the store for somebody. And this one did crappy as well. So sometimes I flip the card around to look at the centering, but it looks decent for an 8, though. Looks pretty good. This card snuck in. Only because I thought it was a 10, but get to 9. Kevin Brown, and then Wade Boggs Bowman. The right to left's on point. Top to bottom, I think it's just a smidge off. So, kind of rough around here. Here's some newer stuff. Clayton Kershaw, 2008 Bowman Gold. This seems like it'd be a tougher set with that gold and the chipping on the front and the back. So that Kershaw got a 9. That's pretty good. Exquisite Collection, Jamal Charles. That's the base to 199. And that got an 8. Cool patch on that. He's just a back that he won't go into the Hall of Fame, although he does have the highest yards per carry, I think, in NFL history. But he just didn't compile quite enough. So I think if he could have had 2 more 1,000-yard seasons, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Eloy, just the bases. 14 draft, a couple 9s on the bases. Rendon, 2012 Bowman, the Bowman Chrome base in a 9. Brady, a card that I thought was a 10 for sure. I wouldn't send a card in like this, but it might have a market for a 9 at this point. But Brady. Here's an Evans 14 Bowman Chrome Refractor. This was sitting in one of my boxes at home. It was in a soft sleeve at least, but it looked pretty good. Garoppolo. It's kind of like a 96 die cut for the SPX. 13 Bowman Chrome Trout in a 9. Here's the 13 Bowman Chrome Orange, and that's out of 25. Anthony Rendon. Here's the Purple Ice. That's the 10. So just some low printed Anthony Rendon 2013 cards that I picked up. I think all from the same seller, like last July. They were priced pretty good. And they came in pretty clean. This red wave didn't do too hot, but it is off-centered a little bit from right to left. That one got an 8. Here's a gold to 50. Here's a Miggy 2012 Bowman Chrome Gold in a 9. Prestige Steph Curry. So they sprinkled a 10 in here. I'm just guessing. I don't know anything about this card. I'd say this card's worth $300. That's my guess. Bryce Harper. That's the Pro Debut Gold to 50 from 2011 Topps Pro Debut. Here's Chapman. 2014 Bowman Chrome Draft. Poppy. It's a gold one from 2014. And then Trout Bowman, so got a 9. Ultra Platinum to 99, Frank Gore. Gets an 8. It's off-centered pretty bad, so that got an 8 too. That's a 2005 Topps Chrome, Frank Gore. Here's a third-year Topps Chrome base LeBron. It's a little off right to left, probably 65-35, 60-40 range, so that makes sense as a 9. This is neat. Topps Draft Picks and Prospects to 100, Calvin Johnson autograph. Here's the base, Topps Chrome base in a 9. Probably gonna snap this one. I think this was a Beckett 9 with decent subgrades. It's got decent centering right to left. The back, these don't really chip much. This might be the whitest sliver there, and I don't think the surface was scratched. So definitely gonna snap this one. I think it should be at least a 9. Don't know why I got an 8. Kershaw, Topps 2008. Update and highlights. I think there's a Scherzer in here. There's a couple, and this is the gold foil, so the name's in gold. A 9. Here's the base. The name's in silver on the base. Bowman Chrome. So this is there's just the base one in a 10. Probably keep this one. Here's the base in a 9. Peterson Ultimate Collection. Just a filthy set. Here's an 8. Print of 99 on these, and it is a sticker auto. It looks different than most of the sticker autos you'll see though. They kind of like slid it into the bottom of the card there, but a respectable 8 on the Peterson. This is decent too. Doesn't really have the best centering. I think this could be an 8. Just the top to bottom's really weak for a 9, but so I'm gonna sell this one. It's on these cards. It's about eye appeal sometimes. If you're gonna keep it for your collection, you want one that looks like a strong 9. This looks like a really weak 9. So Durant. This was a clean one. So I probably went through 20 or 25 copies of this card, and it's tough. There's light scratching on the front. Sometimes the back right here, there's scratching. Obviously chipping with the black. And this was like, I think it was probably the best one I saw. So I thought this was an 8.5 or a 9. So I'm going to snap that one out and try again because I just think it's better than an 8. LeBron, that's actually a cool photo on that one. So that one got a 9. That's a 2017 Bowman Chrome LeBron 9. Here's another one of these. This one doesn't look quite as good because that white's pretty prominent. So I think this makes more sense as an 8. Little edge chipping. The right to left's decent. That one will stay in the case. And the Fleer Rookie Sensations. Little dab of white. Yeah, that one makes sense. This is one that I kind of looked over and I compared it to some other 10s because I was trying to figure out maybe if the top to bottom was off. Never mind. This is the wrong one. There's another one that I was looking at. This is the 8. Maybe I already showed it. I thought I had a 9, but okay. Well, whatever. An 8 to round out the order. So, I mean, it wasn't. There was a few cool cards in there, but lots of stuff will go in the store. You know, it's just tougher sometimes with these bulks. So, there are a lot more of these coming back. So we'll see kind of how we do moving forward with the rest of the bulks. But thanks for watching. I'm out. Durant 9. Beautiful. This was a 10 snap, so that'll get snapped. Breeze, Victory Gold. Tough. Little white right there. There's no half grades really, so it's either going to be an 8 or a 9. It got rounded to an 8. Flagship Wade, we saw a 9 on this. This one gets an 8. And the Fleer Tradition Wade in an 8.